Welcome back to another Alliance War. For Loki, we are currently rank 7 going into the 6th war of Season 6, and we'll be going up against D69, D's Nuts. Gonna go ahead and boost up as per usual with a lesser attack boost, a lesser health boost, and lesser champion boost. I'm hoping that only popping the lesser boost here doesn't backfire against me. I've been boosting a little bit bigger this season, so I was trying to be a little bit more conservative this war, and only going with the lesser boosts in this case. I've got Void, Stark, Spidey, and Blade with me as per usual, and Blade, he's there just to give Void, or I'm sorry, just to give Stark, Spidey those 3 poise charges. Imagine if Blade could give Void 3 poise charges. Oh, that'd be amazing. But, alright, first fight, Node 12. We have the Unblockable Special 1, Aggression, Fury, and Limber. It's a Science Champion. I'm thinking it's going to be OG Spidey, very commonly seen here. And it's actually not. It's actually a Wasp. Okay, that caught me off guard a little bit, but that's no problem. You just want to bait heavy attacks against Wasp. This way she can't get her sting on you. And you can attack right after the first part of her heavy attack. And it's actually much better to do that since you have more time before her sting is available. That way, you can see that little timer ticking down on Wasp every time that she uses her heavy attack. Happens after heavy attack and after her special 1. That's the times where you can get the openings against the champion. Alright, here we go. 18, Bane, Stun Immune, 6-star, Skill Champion. I didn't really care who it was. Turns out it is a Massacre. The reason why I'm going in with Void in this case is because Void has a lot more life. I mean, you could see the Bane damage that I'm doing right now. It's taking for over 550, every half second. So Bane is doing the majority of the work. Bane is doing the heavy lifting. I get a good transfer there, and hit him with the special 1. Now we've got a few debuffs also ticking down the champion's HP, so we're looking good. The important thing to know about Massacre is just to be comfortable evading his heavy attack and knowing when you can get your opening against the heavy attack and the special 1 as well. They're both 4 hits. I mean, I think the special 1 is technically 5 if you count that first kiss or whatever he does, but basically four swings of the of his fists with the weapons there, and then you can get your opening. So if you're not familiar with Massacre, which is understandable because it's not that commonly seen, make sure you familiarize yourself with Massacre before going into a fight, and just kind of practice the timing of his heavy attack and special 1. And once you have that down, then Massacre is not too bad. All right, next fight we have Node 24. This is, of course, the Buffet Limber Recovery node, and it is a Stark Spidey. So Void versus Stark Spidey. What I normally do this fight is kind of just let the debuffs do their thing, and I saved for a special 3. On a heavy Limber node like this, it's pretty tough to get the special 1s off. If I don't use any parries at all, then on the first parry, I can get a special 1 off. So, sometimes I will use specials against Stark Spidey, but on Limber nodes, for the most part, with Void at least, I don't. Because it's just too difficult to, the other way to get a special against this guy is if you take down his Stark AI or whatever it's called by hitting with a heavy attack, but that's also not really that easy to do. So yeah, I'd much rather just kind of let the debuffs do their thing. I did get lucky this fight, and the first 2 debuffs were Petrifies, so that does speed up the fight. But even if I didn't get those, the fight would just be, maybe about 15 to 20 seconds longer than what it's going to end up being here. The one real threat of Stark Spidey is his chance to evade, so I'm trying to be pretty cautious here. For the most part, I'm only doing 4-hit combos. I did just do a 5-hit combo right there because I knew I was going to pop the special 3. That still might not have been the best idea if he came back and attacked me immediately after the evade. Maybe I still could have got nailed by him, but that's really the biggest threat, is that Stark Spidey, he is one of the heaviest hitting champions in the game. If he does evade and connect a 5-hit combo, man, you could drop in an instant against that guy. So really just trying to play things a little bit slow, trying to play things as cautiously as possible. All right, but moving on to the next fight, we have a Yondu mini boss. Yondu on Node 24 Buffet mini boss. And just going to heal up Void, pop a potion into him. And a couple little pointers about Yondu if you're not already familiar with them. The key thing about Yondu is not to parry when you're in close proximity to him, because if he throws a light attack, if it's light attack with his arrow, you can't parry that with most champions. Very few champions have a special ability to do that. So what you want to do is just dash back, get some distance between yourself and Yondu, and then he's going to dash at you with a medium attack, and the medium attack is the one that you are able to parry. So just give yourselves that distance, get those parries, and then from there, bait out special ones. The special one is a 3-parter. He does the arrow, lunge, and then arrow again. If he does a heavy attack for some reason, just know the difference between the heavy attack and the special one. The special attack is a 3-parter. The heavy attack is only a 2-parter, and then you can get your opening after that. If it's, and then the fight's pretty much wrapped up from here. Just pretty much baiting out special ones at this point. He's got a bunch of debuffs. He's going to go down. But if Yondu is on a stun immune node, a lot of times you do have to kind of rely on those heavy attacks, unless you're really good at intercepting, but I am not comfortable enough to intercept this guy normally. So I do bait out the heavy attacks. He does have a chance to apply the bleed with that arrow when you are baiting out a heavy if he's landing a few hits on you. So doing that with a higher HP enemy with maxed out willpower, definitely advisable. So even if there was even if I did have to bait out heavies against this node, Void would still be a good option. But luckily, because there is no limber and because it is not stun immune, we're able to just kind of parry that guy as many times as we want. All right, next fight up. This is the Aggression Armor Explosive Personality node, another tech champion, and it turns out that it is a Doc Ock. Doc Ock, always kind of an annoying champion to go up against. He isn't too hard overall, but his animations can be tricky sometimes. Just with his, his tentacles, it can be hard to get good parries in against this guy. And sometimes he is not too willing to throw the special one. Fortunately, he does throw the special one right there, so we're able to kind of keep this a relatively clean fight. Doc Ock's special 2 is kind of a nightmare to evade, in my opinion. I really hate trying to dodge Doc Ock's special 2. I always get hit by it. In high pressure situations like Alliance War, I don't even try to evade it. I'll just block the whole thing, and even then it still does a decent amount of chip damage. So yeah, always trying to bait out the special ones with this guy. And the fight's going pretty smoothly. He's already down to 20% health. Just need him to throw a special one more time and hit him with my special or a couple hits, a couple combo hits, and he's gonna drop. Get this special one going, and boom, the debuff makes him take a nap before he can get up from that special one. All right, at this point, we're on to moved on to the next day, or just later in that day, where my boosts have dropped off. Had to wait to get some energy, so I'm gonna go ahead and heal up. And I'm actually considering here, just if I want to heal up both Stark Spidey and Void before I pop a boost. So just kind of thinking about things, thinking about what I want to do, and I decided to only pop a small potion to Stark Spidey, and I'm going to pop a 15% health boost here. Looking at this fight and the next fight, I'm just I'm thinking that this 15% health boost is going to be enough. So this fight, we got a 455 skill champion on the Arc Overload node. And skill champions on this node, it's usually like Agent Venom or Kingpin, and sometimes it's Black Panther Civil War right here. For the most part, going with Spidey. The only time I don't go in with Spidey is if it's Korg or something like that. So, but Stark Spidey should handle this fight pretty well. I don't mind taking some block damage. This is the last fight I'm going to be using Stark Spidey in. Just really trying to bait out those heavy attacks to get the openings. Don't want to mess around with this guy. He's got those those kinetic charges or whatever they're called, where he could hit you pretty dang hard if you parry stun this guy and then you get yourself stunned, or just mistime something and he connects, he lands a special one or something like that. You don't really want to mess around with that, so just trying to play it as safe as possible, and blocking, getting those special ones in. All right, here we go on to the final fight of this war. It is a King Groot mini boss on the recovery node. And King Groot, he is not awakened, which is actually kind of annoying. I prefer him to be awakened since I am going to be going into this fight with Void. And the big thing to watch out for with, whenever using Void versus King Groot is just to time your specials correctly. When he has those Furies up, you can't land your debuffs, so just try to only use your specials when the Furies are down, when he's in his healing phase. If he's awakened, he has a healing phase at least. And I would say the Resonate Mastery also helps a ton. If you're ever having trouble fighting King Groots with Void, Resonate really does a lot. I mean, you can get rid of those Furies just by parry stunning him or just being patient and letting them drop off. So Resonate's not required by any means. But if you attack, if you get a 5-hit combo and Resonate is triggering and kind of eating those Fury buffs, it can help you to get back to the healing phase quicker and allow more debuffs to stick. Now watch this. He has 5 debuffs, and I'm about to get my 6th one through the timer, and it doesn't land because he had his Furies, but the game still saw it as 6 debuffs landed, so it does still convert that to Fear of the Void. Fear of the Void's a passive effect, so you don't have to worry about that getting shrugged off by King Groot's Furies. Don't worry about that whatsoever. Cannot actually happen. Fear the Void will always stick. And then from here, it's just kind of the same thing. Just landing some more debuffs. Getting that debuff damage going. I'm going to save for a special 2 here since he's almost dead. Throw the special 2, and it didn't really hit all that hard, but he does drop pretty quickly after that. Alright, so King Groot goes down. Got a clean clear of my path. Pretty happy about that, of course, as always. As far as the war itself goes, well, D69, they actually did take the victory here. It was an extremely close war. I think it was, I think they only beat us by like 1 death or something like that. I can't remember the exact score, but it was very, very close, but they did take the victory. So shout out to those guys. Good war. And that is going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.